Eastern Australia is being warned to prepare for more rain, with the potential for heavy rain and flash flooding, with many catchments across the country already at capacity. In Victoria, many communities are still under a watch and act, with 6 emergency warnings still in place for some areas. The flood crisis far from over, with some preparing for possible flash flooding and others preparing to be isolated for days.
The main highway into Kerang cut as the Loddon River threatens to spill over the bridge. Locals warned be prepared to be isolated for up to 2 weeks.
There's a lot of elderly people. They're scared. I've got Mum at home and she's really worried about it. And I say, Mum, we've got police everywhere. They can airlift us out.
Residents have been told to expect similar flood levels as those seen in 2011 when the Loddon peaked around 78 metres. Many of the town's 1,000-strong population evacuated then. Now they say most are choosing to stay, with fear of the looting outweighing fears of the floodwaters.
Maybe they've learned, I think, from last time, knowing that the Kerang township didn't go under, that we didn't lose power. It's probably made people more safer.
The local supermarket now restocked after flood warnings sparked a wave of panic buying earlier in the week.
Got hit that hard, it was all gone. So, yeah, basically, and the beauty of it now, it's sort of settled down a bit because everyone's sort of got most things, I think. And so, yeah, we've sort of got the supply chain sorted.
A huge shipment of groceries coming in today to alleviate concerns about supply. 40 powered sites at the Kerang Caravan and Tourist Park now underwater. The new owners took over the business just 6 weeks ago, now hoping the tourists return when the water recedes.
All we need is pretty much everyone just to come down to the community, support all the locals, come stay at the park, go out to the pubs, go do a bit of shopping and sort of boost the economy up after, once it all dries out.
Kerang is well experienced in handling flood emergencies, but what's complicating this situation is that with the Murray River so full, the Loddon has nowhere to drain, meaning instead of it taking days for the river to return below flood levels, authorities say it'll be more like weeks.
In the next 24, 48 hours, those options are going to be reduced. It's more about the people's own level of resilience to be able to remain in an environment that they know they can't get out of easily.
Forecast storms over the coming days are expected to cause flash flooding.
We could see 20 or 30 millimetres falling in just a couple of hours. Some of those storms could actually produce totals in excess of 50 millimetres by late tonight.
The state government has pledged more financial support for flood-affected communities. Just over $77 million will be spent to help more than 300 schools and 28 health services, which are either closed or have been impacted by flooding.
This is about helping people get back on their feet as quickly as possible, ensuring that they are returning to some form of normality.
Residents of Kerang and Echuca told to pay attention to the warnings as already full catchments prepare for another soaking.
And reporter Abby Dinham is on the New South Wales-Victoria border and joins us now. Abby, it certainly looks like the rain has returned to those flood-affected areas.
Yeah, it certainly has, Anton. The thunderstorm started rolling in around 3:30 this afternoon, and while it hasn't brought a huge amount of rain so far, it's already beginning to have an impact. Some of the lower-lying houses in Moama and Echuca are already beginning to see the floodwaters creep into their properties. As my cameraman and I were leaving Kerang this afternoon, there was a pretty decent downpour, and we saw those puddles forming on the side of the road, beginning to overlap the bitumen there. So it's easy to see how those roads are going to become inaccessible over the next 24 to 48 hours. Even in the main street of Echuca, with those stormwater drains completely at capacity, the water just has nowhere to go. So the forecast at the moment for the Murray is that it will hit those major flooding levels by tomorrow at some stage, then peak around Sunday or Monday morning. Now, they're saying that the river levels will remain high for many days, so there's a lot to come.
Thanks. That's the Victoria reporter Abby Dinham updating us live.